Alrighty. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are from the world. We love and pride ourselves with the diversity we have in our audience. So always, as usual, please share us where you're joining us from in the chat box below. Today, we are with a very special guest for webinar number 7, titled Recalibrating Language Teaching with AI. So Dr. Fayyad is, somewhat of a well-known name in our field. He started off in the National University of Modern Languages in Islamabad, then moved to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to continue his ELT journey at the Imam University in Riyadh. Now has accumulated about or over 20 years of teaching to adults. And along with teaching, he's also been actively engaged in playing a very well-established role in various TESOL organizations and their chapters along the way. So when Dr. Fayyaz recruited himself, we asked him, so what is this session going to be about? And he presented us with a very interesting, let's say, food for thought. With the rapid proliferation of AI tools in the world of ELT right now, it's created somewhat of a paradox, let's say. Unprecedented efficiency, fast responses, quick answers. But on the other side, it has also fostered significant skill recession and overdependence and reliance on AI, potentially eroding our creativity as humans, our ability to critically think and analyze, and long-term career viability even. So with Dr. Fayyaz today, we're going to explore the critical imperatives for sustainability in the age of AI, focusing on how to ensure the enduring relevance and continuous development of our essential human capabilities. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aramis, for this wonderful and generous introduction. First of all, I would like to clarify that I'm not a doctor so far. I will be in next 2 years maybe, but not now. So, but it really makes me happy when somebody calls me doctor.
I'm just foreshadowing.
Right. Okay. So as Aramis was introducing me, and he was explaining that when I moved from National University of Modern Languages to Al Imam University here, a big change came for me as a teacher because I moved from a test-based, exam-based system to the project-based. And that actually changed my whole perspective, my whole, it was a big shift for me. So, and it actually guided my teaching practices and my beliefs in a completely new direction. Today's presentation is also the part of the same thing, that how this perspective actually changed with the arrival of AI. So I'll be sharing my screen and we'll be starting talking about the details. Right, here we are. Okay. So when like with the inception of AI, like everybody else, my ideas, my practices, my relationship with my students, and the learning space in my classroom got affected. Some in the beginning in a big way, in a confusing way, but now with the passage of time, as we are here in 2025, things are getting clear. The dust is settling, the hype is getting down to the level of, I think, normalcy for many of us. So I would like to start my session. So here, give me, all right, okay. Okay, so my session is actually divided into 4 parts. The first part is like how our attempts of redefining plagiarism, where they will take us, how they are at this moment, and what actually redefining plagiarism means. Why do we need that? Second part is redefining testing and grading. how AI is forcing many of us to change our view of the traditional way of testing, examining students' language skills, and our own practices of grading assessment, and evaluation. The third part deals with redefining learner agency. This is what we have to deal with day to day in our classrooms, that how this learning space and students' role is changing. Uh, when we talk about students' traditional traits, qualities like rigor, self-correction, self-discovery, inquiry, collaboration, peer work, and independence, where things are going and how you're going to deal with them. The last part is redefining teachers' role. When I look at myself, then I have to decide about my space within the classroom. How much control should I have in the wake of AI working in the class? uh, what kind of teacher talking time I can have, or the amount of teacher talking time I can have with my students when they're working with a tool which can give them answers within seconds. So, and where is my role as the presenter, or as a guide, as a helper, or as an evaluator? We will look into all these situations. So first of all, redefining plagiarism. Um, like this interest in this topic came to like my practices with the help of a group of colleagues that I'm working with. We are working on a project where we are trying to create a kind of paradigm where we're going to redefine plagiarism in project-based learning. And according to that, we are going to look at students' work, because a lot of contributions, or the within the project-based learning, the products that students are creating are the result of AI tools. So this is what we have to do. So, at at the moment in 2025, this is what a lot of people see, that we have to, at one time or another, we have to redefine radically what is plagiarism and what it means and how we deal with that. So the traditional definition is, as we all know, taking credit from another person's ideas or words. That used to be plagiarism. But now, with the AI coming, affecting students' writing, production, process work, and our teachers' practices as evaluators, how to define plagiarism. That whose ideas are where. Some AI tools have started giving us the sources, like Gemini. Gemini clearly mentions resources where the ideas come from, but are they authentic? Are they really research-based? And where one contribution from one website or one writer or one book ends and where the other starts, that is really difficult to verify, both for students and for teachers. Uh, a lot of anti-plagiarism tools, which have been trying to catch up with the race of the development of AI tools, have been lagging behind. Uh, and like a recent research says that the amount of money which AI, the tech companies are investing into AI is multi million dollars. And the amount of money which those tools, which the companies are developing to catch the plagiarism, is just meager. It's just like 1.5 million or something like that, not more than that. So with this gap of investment, we can understand that how complicated plagiarism is going to be, and capturing, or just checking it out that where the plagiarism is happening, this thing is going to be really, really complicated. So how we are going to define that? This is one attempt that we have come so far with my colleagues, that submitting content generated by an algorithm or a representation of one's own understanding, skills, or critical analysis, right? So this is how things are developing. Algorithms are going to define what a student is going to generate, whether it is a poem, an essay, or a summary, or paraphrase, or whatever. So with every passing day, at many levels of education, from like high school to university and tertiary levels, it's become clear that AI contributions are there, will be there. Maybe they will increase in amount. So how much of this content is generated by algorithms, and whether students present is it as their own understanding, their own skill, their own critical analysis. This is what is going to define plagiarism in present and in coming years. So second second thing is the part of plagiarism definition is that who did the cognitive heavy lifting? Is it the student, or is it that algorithm? Now, cognitive heavy lifting is logic, synthesizing the evidence, formulating the argument, analyzing, going deeper into the discussion. And if the student is just acting as a courier and taking it from an AI tool and filing it up as a final assignment, that is plagiarism. So we need to consider plagiarism in the AI era as a kind of shifting paradigm, a kind of shifting practice from theft of words to theft of effort. The effort is being taken away. So things are getting faster, easier. So how to deal with that? So here, there are two frameworks with the AI plagiarism, which are at work now. One is command framework. The other is demand framework. So command framework is, it works when a student commands the AI tools to perform specific lower order tasks. Like, for example, check my grammar, suggest a synonym. Is this outline good? Or critique this paragraph that I wrote. Or is this question logical? Something like that. Now, this kind of assistance taken from AI is at the command of student under the guidance of teacher. So it is human assisted. On the other hand, there's a completely different picture. That is demand. That is the true plagiarism, academic dishonesty. That the students ask AI to produce the final product, the final essay, or basic thinking for him or her. Write a 500 paragraph essay on Hamlet, or solve this equation and show me all the steps, and so on. So these two frameworks actually help us all as teachers to define plagiarism, to find it out, and it leads further discussions with the students. Moving forward, we can see that there are three new categories of plagiarism which are happening now. So, like first of all, the ghostwriter plagiarism. The first one is using AI to generate an entire draft and submitting it one's own. This is functionally identical to paying a human ghostwriter. No effort, no thinking, no decision making, no choice of words, no analysis. Like this used to happen like when AI tools became available to students and to all the public in like 2020, 2021, like under the influence of the excitement, this was happening. This was happening. And that uh, uh, that event of the AI availability to public happened right after COVID-19. So a lot of a lot of incidents happen of ghost writing plagiarism. It was a kind of moment of discovery for many people that, oh, I can generate a whole essay in less than a second, and so on. So under that like enthusiastic kind of rediscovering, a lot of people fell into that, especially students. The pastiche infraction or plagiarism, this is the second one. This is the second category which is happening right even today. The first one is going down a bit because now like teachers are getting into practice of like catching those cases and discussing them with students, and in some cases punishing them through grading. The second one, the pastiche one, generating several AI paragraphs, stitching them together, rewriting a few sentences here and there to smooth the transition. This kind of patchwork on a machine scale is called pastiche infraction. So here, what happens that in some cases, the writer or the user of AI can humanize his own writing. So there are multiple iterations which are run on this on different prompts until the user gets what he wants. But again, like there is no statement of there's no transparency. There is no statement explaining that okay, this part has been developed with the help of AI and so on. So it is just patchwork, things taken from different sources, different iterations, and put together. Again, in this case, citation is hard. It's like impossible to do because of mainly because of iterations, because every next iteration is going to be different. So referencing, explaining things where the source came from is hard. It's hard for those people who do it. The third one is hallucinated citation. So this one is like submitting AI generated reference that do not exist. A lot of new developments with many AI tools are like, working on that. They do refer to different sources. But again, the problem is that many of those resources, which I have checked myself, they're just surface levels discussions. They're not authentic websites. So, like it's a kind of double offense. Plagiarism, fake authorship on one hand, on the other hand, academic fraud or fabrication of data. So with having this kind of clarity, now let's move on to what is originality in the age of AI. So it's not just about typing words, it's about verification. It's about voice. It's about having individual voice in a person's speech, in a person's writing, in a person's ideation. So what is voice? So we have to check out, for example, when I received the essay from a student. So I asked him, okay, does this piece of writing sound like you? Like this is how you would like to explain things? Are there personal examples? Are there personal observations? Does it contain your specific perspective, lived experience, or immediate context? That immediate context can be the context of the classroom or the context of the current situation, which is happening around the world, right? So, for example, later I will show you that I recently, just last 2 weeks, I ran a project. It was for students to design a product. and creating a poster with the help of AI and explaining it. A lot of students did it in the first attempt in a careless way, and they gave they threw a prompt to an AI tool and they presented whatever they received. So their voice was absent. Their own understanding, their analysis of the project and the question and the demand of the project was absent. Now, let's move on to verification. So, originality in the age of AI needs verification. An original author stands by the accuracy of his work. Since AI often hallucinates, it invents facts. A student who submits unchecked AI claims has failed the basic duty of authorship. And that is the test for the student and for the teachers to understand and to recognize what is authentic and what is generated by AI. But when we look at voice and verification, these are the two methods that we can understand whether a piece of writing is authentic or not, or created with the help of AI. However, with every passing minute, I'm talking about the minute, and more encroachment of AI into students' work. Now, this discussion, is a lot of people now say that it's kind of wastage of time, that when we indulge into this kind of search and discussion with students, oh, you created with the AI, okay, and then okay, what to do, what's the next step, and so on. So this discussion is actually driving a very important, I would say, that decision-making process, that what is plagiarism, what is originality, and how it is going to affect our classrooms and our assessment. But the practical approach is that instead of having a complete 100% ban on AI tools, people and institutions are experimenting with different approaches. And one very common approach is the three-tier system of defining plagiarism in syllabus. So the first one is that there are AI-free writing zones. In every writing assignment, a lot of teachers, a lot of institutes, they're trying this, that in every writing assignment, they have a period of time where no AI tools are permitted. The goal is to assess students' raw recall and critical thinking, their first experience with the topic. So the use of AI at that particular point is to generate ideas. So text is defined as plagiarism, like a first draft, like a rough journal about any given topic. The second stage is AI assisted. So at a certain point in a writing process, or certain institutes overall, they allow the use of AI for brainstorming and outlining only, and students write the draft themselves and include a disclosure statement explaining how to use the AI. So this transparency is expected from students. So in this case, where AI is used as assistant. The third case is AI partnered. I don't like actually the use of the word partner here, but because it's common these days, and a lot of people explain certain writing assignments as AI partner. So here what's happening, that students are encouraged to use AI to generate text, but they must critique, fact check, and edit that text significantly. The grade is based on the analysis of the AI output, not the output itself. Now here, this AI partnered part of assignment or a total assignment cannot work at every level. Maybe it cannot work with early language learners. maybe it can work at like intermediate and post-intermediate level students who can make this kind of decisions and who can defend their decisions of the use of AI, and they can fact check and edit the text significantly because the if we look at CEFR levels, anybody from A1 to B1 or even B2, they take whatever is generated with the help of AI as something perfect, no mistake, no error. So, that's why I don't agree with the word partner here, because partners are those two entities who are mostly equal in many things. Here, they're not. Now, uh, what is our final approach towards plagiarism? This will be clear when I will be explaining something in the coming slide. But here I would like to just say before moving to the next section that that our approach and the future approach towards plagiarism should be redefined in the way that that creates a balance between human effort plus AI generated text. Right, okay. Next section, redefining the assessment. Is there any question so far that I can answer? I would like to check on the chat.
There was a question that came up. I'm not sure if you'd like to address it now or later on. The question of, are there any tools we can use to kind of detect AI use in student assignments?
There have been some, and there have been some, and like, for example, different institutes provide their teachers different kind of tools to check whether it's plagiarized or not, and whether the AI part, AI assistant has been used or not. However, the problem is that that with those, some of these tools give only percentage, a number. So it's not it's, even to the student. If you show it to the student will be confused. He won't be able to decide that. Okay, for example, the AI tool says that 40% is AI generated, 50% is taken from is original or something like that. But how that students will know what is that 40%,
Mhm.
and like so. Uh, at a lot of levels, students are unable to do that. And for example, when I asked students to explain their essays, then, for example, if a student has used AI, they fumble a lot. They cannot
Mhm.
they cannot defend. They cannot explain. And when I ask them, okay, what are the parts which are your effort, your thinking, your planning, and what is the part which you took from the other, they cannot explain. So when I show them this, we have one, it just gives the number, a percentage. That is the problem.
So
um,
kind of like what you
but
mentioned, it's knowing our students is the best AI detector possible.
yeah. Some of my colleagues have used AI to detect AI.
Mhm.
So so in that case, the language that AI uses to make that kind of analysis is a little bit complicated. Students don't understand that.
Mhm.
Like, especially in our case, when we don't teach grammar, like we don't give explicit grammar lessons. So students sometimes they don't even understand, like, for example, complicated that meta language of grammar that is used in assessment
Mhm.
by the AI tools. So as I said before, that the gap of investment between the kind of money which is being invested in on AI tools and the kind of money which is being invested on development of those plagiarism detectors, the gap is huge. And the AI detectors are far, far behind in that race. So it's a problem. This problem
Definitely.
is going to persist, I think. I think so. The only thing is that we need to change our approach towards plagiarism.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Um, you can continue. That's all for the chat. Everybody's just kind of been commenting on what you're saying.
Right. Okay. Okay. So moving forward. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the second part. That is the redefining the assignment. Now, it's uh, as we shift from our traditional concept of plagiarism to a kind of combined human and machine approach, the balance. In the same way, we have to make a shift in our the way we assign uh, the kind of assignments that we assign to students. So the basic shift is from writer to editor and critic. Now, the student's role as a writer is changing fast. So, and the role is moving towards editor and critic. So traditionally, an assignment tested a student's ability to generate language from scratch, like writing a hook, background, thesis statement, topic sentence, conclusion, concluding statements, and like that. So this is changing fast. Now, an assignment must test a student's ability to manipulate, critique, and verify the language, where a lot of work is going to be there, a kind of combined effort between students and the AI tools. Now, students should be able to explain the text, to critique it, to improve it, and to verify the language. And this is the kind of role which is for students not only in their academic years of life, but also it's going to define their role at the workplace. Whether they're going to work in a bank or in any other organization, whatever writing they're going to do, obviously they will be using AI in their emails, in their memos, in their reports. So there, they should be able, they they should be equipped with their own understanding, with the kind of ability which can tell them that okay, that how to contextualize a report, how to contextualize an email, how not to make those kind of mistakes where anybody can detect that, oh, this is out of context, this is from AI. So this tool is shifting. So the same shift has to be there in the way we assign work to our students. So here there are four examples I would like to say. Number one, the process log assignment. In this kind of assignment, the student must submit their prompt history alongside their essay, especially in a setting where students are allowed to use AI. So they have to give the history of their prompt, and they have to defend the changes in their iterations that they have been making, the choice of words, the role that they assign to AI, what details they added into their prompt. So this kind of critical analysis of their own questioning, of their own ability to design a prompt, we need to equip students with. Second one is the reverse engineering assignment. So in this case, I have used it a lot, honestly. So, for example, I generate an essay with the help of AI, and I give them to students, and I ask them, okay, read it carefully and prepare a reverse outline. So, in the reverse outline, which actually an outline which is generated based on a completed work. So, uh, if students understand that text, and if they understand the flow of discussion, the transitions, And the argument which that reading is making, they create an outline on that. So these kind of reading assignments I've given to my students. Another example is read a general essay. For example, drama versus action movies, two genres. Look at the missing words. Use an AI tool to find three synonyms for each space and choose the most appropriate one. And this is what I've used recently in my work. The third example is the oral defense. So when students submit their essay, they have to explain the main points in an oral presentation, and they have to answer the questions from their classmates, just like an oral presentation. The fourth one is the local context assignments. We can try this one. We can ask students to compare the action and drama genres, two kinds of movies, using only examples of those movies they watched with their friends past 6 months or this year. And they have to describe their own reaction, their friend's reaction, what happened, how it happened, something like that. Recently, I tried this one with a little bit twist. I gave them this compare and contrast essay between two genres of movies, and then I gave them an assignment. I told them, okay, write a kind of journal, explain, imagine yourself as a film director, what kind of film you would like to make, where would you like to shoot it, how much budget would you require for that, how long the film would be, who is going to be the lead actor, who will be the protagonist, and where would you like your movie to be shown, in a cinema or a streaming service, and defend your answers and so on. So we have to change assignments in this way. Another way of changing assignments is multimodality. Now, students are tech savvy. They are very visual these days. They work well with images. They work well with videos. So when I think whenever there is an opportunity, we need to find a chance where we can incorporate images or videos with the text to support, to explain more, and to connect with students better. And this way, they will be able to, I would say that, associate more with the text and with the assignment. Moving to the next one, third part, redefining the learning space. And here, before I move forward, can I ask our attendees here, anybody who can define what is the learning space? You can express yourself in the chat box. A learning space. Anybody? So a learning space is I can't.
So can I speak? Because by the time I will write, it will already be over. Means I
Okay,
cannot type so fast.
please
So
go
the
on.
thing is that the learning space is a particular place where a particular student is given that space to go to study. So say suppose even in the classroom there can be two, three learning spaces. One
Mhm.
can be made for looking into for coloring purpose, or maybe one
Mhm.
can be made for building up maybe rubrics or a puzzle background, or one
All
can be
right.
made for. So there are different learning spaces. One can be used for outdoor games. So that
Mhm.
can be used for different small spaces within a given playground or a given classroom, and we subdivide that particular part for different uses. So this is what I think is learning space.
Thank you so much. You made my job easy. Right. Okay. So a learning space within the classroom means that the kind of portion or the control of one aspect of our portion or space that you assign to different factors which are working inside the classroom. Now, a classroom is not just four walls. A classroom is where you are there as a teacher, your learners as there as your, you can say that your reflection as teacher, and they're there to learn from you. And at the same time, there are external resources, books, technological tools, like there is projector, there is internet available there. Students have their mobile phones in their pockets. And now there is AI. So in this case, we have to see that how much space we are going to assign to each one of these factors, how much control we are going to exert as teachers, how much control we have to leave away uh, as teachers, especially in the case of when AI is involved. So let's talk about that. And I would like to go back to my slides. Here, there's a little bit problem. I cannot, wait, let me try here. Okay. Here we go back. Can you see the screen? Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Right, okay. So with that definition or with that description of learning space in mind, like our classroom is no longer the primary place where students come to get information from the teacher. So I'm not the kind of person in my class who is the source of all knowledge, who is the source of all information, since AI can provide facts instantly, and students have their devices in their pockets. In many teaching settings, it's very difficult for teachers to control the use of these devices. For especially at high intermediate level and universities level, tertiary level, it's impossible to take away students' phones. In some cases it can result into some kind of conflict. So we have to relinquish some space to these devices and obviously AI. So instead, the classroom must become the place where students come to process, debate, and humanize that information that they are receiving on their own. If we don't do that, if we don't create that space for humanization of students' text, their debate, their speech, their ideas, what will happen? They will be shut off. They will create a kind of wall around them. They will get busy with their phone. They will think that, oh, I have a device in my pocket which can give me instant answers about anything. Why do I need this teacher? What he's saying? So they will stop listening to you, and what will happen as a result? Teachers talking time will start increasing, so much so that the teacher will become a kind of center stage, a kind of what like as we say that sage on the stage. Yeah. And there, the whole classroom management, dealing with the lesson plan and making sure that the learning is happening in the class, I think most of those factors will be lost. That's what I would say. So we need to shift from moving from rows of receivers to zones of engagement. So so we have to create a balance. Sometimes we have to create the zone where there is a time for device-free debate. generating word lists based on inferences. For example, I give my students a topic and I tell them, okay, now we are going to have a debate between two groups. So, but first, let's make a list of words. What kind of words do we need related to pollution, traffic congestion, or comparison contrast between past and present for a particular topic? So we have to create this kind of learning space within the classroom. I was reading an article recently, and there the writer mentioned, it appeared in New York Times. The writer mentioned how different teachers are dealing with this issue. So some teachers, they said that they are doing 15 minutes quick journals in the class, where they don't allow the students to use AI tools. Very quick journals, no organization is required, no attention to spellings, choice of words, nothing, just their thoughts, just their thoughts. So, and then they have a discussion on the topic, and then the teacher selects the best of those journals. The next day, students read them to the whole class. So in this way, the teacher is decreasing his teacher talking time. Teacher is decreasing the control of devices in the class, and he's creating more space for debate, discussion, sharing of ideas. So another situation can be that we can have a situation where students can work like AI auditors. Students bring an AI-generated answer and must find 3 external resources that prove or disapprove the claims made by AI. I did this one like a few weeks before. I graded students' essays, and I didn't want them to to see my grade first. So I told them, okay, you took the pictures of your essays to upload on LMS. So now upload that picture to an AI tool and give it a prompt to check your language, grammar, organization of ideas, and flow, start, ending, and the points of comparison contrast. When students did it, and when they saw the grade, and I told them to tell AI to grade it out of 10. And very few students got 6. That was the passing grade. Many of them got like less than 5. And then like they were shocked. And like they said, oh, I don't agree with this assessment. It's not about this course. It's not about what I'm trying to say. The AI is taking my words in the wrong way, and so like that. So, and then I told them that this is how context works. But with that practice, they actually saw that what happens if we give all the control to a kind of tool which gives us a machine answer, an answer generated by a machine. So we have to think about what kind of learning space we're going to create when in the age of AI, and how to create a balance. Now, this decision, how the learning space is created or is divided in our classes, it actually affects a lot of other things. For example, my teacher talking time, as I said before, my classroom management, AI and other forms of technology, and students themselves. So, and then we have to think that who will benefit from this division that we decide for our students. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you can see some of my students. This was the project I was talking about. The students had to create um, a kind of product. The product, I told them that the product must solve one real life problem. So this was one of them, focus dot. I told students to choose any tool and generate a poster, just a poster, no details, no descriptions. And they have to show the poster to the class and explain how this thing is going to work and answer the questions. Is this product going to sell? Is it going to make money? Is it going to be profitable? What will be the marketing strategy? Who are the target audience, target customers? How is it going to work? Is it for the short-term use or the long-term use? Are there any updates required? So and so. So they came up with different ideas. Once I gave these instructions, they worked with themselves. And during the most of the time during their presentation, I was just on the corner. I was just in the corner, and other students were asking questions because they already shared their questions on LMS. So in this way, we can decide that how we create a space, learning space in our classrooms. Moving forward, and here are some more examples of other students' work on the same project. Redefining the learner agency. This is our second last part. Now, learner agency, learning space in the class, plagiarism, testing, and grading, these are all integrated topics. So they all go with how we redefine language teaching in the face of AI. So there's a fundamental shift happening right now in terms of learner agency. Like learners, we cannot expect them to comply all the time. So we have to give them this power to command. Command in the terms of like what they are going to ask AI tools, how they're going to design their prompt. We have to give this freedom to students at one time or another. They're going to use this skill at the workplace, outside somewhere, anywhere. So we have to give them, we have to shift from compliance to command. So the old definition of learner agency was the freedom to choose between writing a paper or giving a presentation. And then it was their inner call, how much hard work they're going to put into it, how rigorously they're going to work on that. Are they going to be present in the class every day? How much are they going to collaborate? How much self-discovery they're going to put into their work? What kind of questioning they're going to do in the class with the text in their mind. This is the basic fundamental meaning of learner agency, and the old form of it was that students were passive. They were on the end of receiving and doing what the teacher was telling them. There was not much freedom. The only freedom they had, like how many slides they're going to make, how long their essay is going to be. This is what they were doing, but now it is going to be changed with the help of AI. So the new definition should be that the intentional and responsible decision made by the students to use an AI tool to generate the process work, reverse outlines, questionnaires, images, videos, which they can use to write about, debate, experiment with, and discuss. Now, this control is in their hands. This device is in their hand. This tool is in their hands. So we have to make this shift. So if If we take agency as intention, a student's intention, that how they're going to work and how they're going to increase the quality of their work. So, uh, so we have to move beyond passive freedom of choice, and we have to empower students to become intentional controllers of their learning resources. So here, agency is not the right to choose, but the responsibility to direct, critique, and ultimately humanize the powerful digital tools at our disposal. So, and the most critical act of agency is rejecting or accepting or improving AI-generated content. If a student gets that skill, if a student gets that ability, and he accepts, then it means that the student is exercising his criticism, his decision-making power, his power, this like rejecting something, accepting something, and improving upon that. But if a student accepts the output without any critique, without any amendment, without any change, and without taking that responsibility that that his job is to improve his own ideas, to improve his output, then they surrender their agency to the algorithm. As teachers, we need to like we need to put a kind of block on this, that they don't give their powers, their agency, to an algorithm. They have to keep their individuality. Finally, at the last part of our session today, we are moving towards redefining grading. So, all type of grading, that assessing grammatical correctness, structure of an essay, choice of words, mechanical things, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and all that. The new kind of grading we need to move on to is assessing the student's ability to balance AI part with one's own contribution, their own critical ability, what kind of improvement they're going to make, and ethically defend the creation with the help of AI. So one example is here, that what I can grade students' prompt quality, how complex their prompt is, how many iterations the students ran, did he ask high-level questions or not? So sooner or later, we're moving into that direction where we have to stop thinking about spelling, choice of words, and all these things, and we have to redefine our practices of assessment and evaluation. For example, I would like to share this poster with you. In relation with this poster is like in relation with the same project that I was talking about. Now, this student project was canceled or rejected completely, first by his own classmates and then by me, because he was trying to present flying cars. This was the poster he created. There is no imagination. There is no, I would say, like nothing unique here. The very basic idea of a flying vehicle is missed completely. In terms of visible design, we don't see anything here. So in peer assessment, his classmates gave him like just 1 for attempt, 1 out of 10. So what's behind that? Like, the student did not use his creativity. The student didn't use his his critical mindset. The student didn't use his decision-making power. So his agency was very, very low. It is lazy work. Maybe he was running out of time. Maybe he did at the last minute. Whatever the reason was, that it reflects that the students did not put his full mental capabilities, which were required actually in this project and designing the poster. And this was the result. So the grading for this was quite obviously shocking for the student himself, and then but he understood. He understood with the comments that he heard from his classmates that what kind of project he has done. So AI era grading in the age of AI, it should be multidimensional. It should be broken down into the different components that reflect human interaction and intellectual accountability. One way of doing that is co-creating rubrics with students. This can have a very clear mutual understanding of what should be graded and what should not. So when students create a rubric, they understand that it is not something abstract that the teacher is expecting from them, that it is something that is whatever is being evaluated, it is visible, it is concrete, and they have to perform according to that. So peer grading before teacher-led assessment, that is another tool that I use a lot. It allows students to see where they stand within their own group. They see each other's work, they assess each other's work, and like they think about their own work in this whole process. Oh, my friend has done that. Let me see what he's going to say about my work. My friend has written this kind of introduction. What I have done in my introduction, is it better than that? Or is it worse than that? Is something missing? Something like that. So it's a great tool. So what I do with my students, especially in essay writing, I run different cycles of grading. So for example, in the first essay, I check only their ideas and organization. The next essay, I go deeper, like flow of discussion, analysis. And when in the third essay or the fourth essay, when a lot of these things are clear, that they learn how to do them, then finally I move on to other things like language, grammar, and transition words, shifting from one topic to another, something like that. So running different cycles can also give students an idea that that learning is not something like AI, that it happens within few seconds. It is a process. It happens in stages. They have to work on one aspect of their learning at one time. Idea generation. Second stage, looking for formal language. Third stage, looking at other aspects of organization. Hook, background, thesis statement, like that. This will give them an idea that why their own understanding of their own process is more important than working with AI. So the core shift is output score to process validation in this grading. The traditional grading assigns a single number, a grade, but in the age of AI, we have to change that. We have to look at other aspects of writing, like originality, effort, and the balance between humanization of writing and other aspects which have been taken from AI, how they are blended together. And but for example, in my classes, my first priority is pure students' work. Later, they can take help from AI. But even there, I keep it on the edges of the main writing task that they have to do. For example, students write an essay. After the essay, they do reverse outline. And then with the help of AI, they create a questionnaire, 10 questions on the same topic. And then they share that questionnaire on Google Form with their friends and family members. When they collect their responses, they add those responses in the final draft, that this percentage of people say this. There, they have to find that, okay, this answer goes with a certain paragraph in their essay. So they have to analyze. Oh, this answer goes with conclusion. This answer goes with my analysis. This goes against my analysis. How to defend it? Something like that. So we have to evaluate and assess in a different way now. So the new grading system must shift its focus to validating the uniquely human inputs and critical process a student executes, even when he's using AI as a partner or co-worker or co-pilot. So whatever I have presented here, it is just based on my practices. Every teaching situation is unique. These are just recommendations. These recommendations, I understand, would not fit on other, situations or settings. And particularly in terms of AI use, we all are in a very fluid situation. We don't know what is going to happen next 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. What kind of jobs will be there? What kind of workplace? What shape of workplace will be for our students who are graduating? So, and what skills we need to give them in next 5 years or 10 years. So we are in a kind of transition mode. So these are just suggestions which I have collected from my colleagues and I have gathered through the experiences that I have had with my students. So as teachers, we need to see the opportunities in devising in-class rules and policies for our classrooms, that how far we can go to innovate and apply them in our own practices. So I would like to end it with some sources that I use regularly. And the first one is ISTE. It's a portal. It offers professional development workshops and resources for educators on AI. Common Sense Education. This website provides a comprehensive list of AI tools for classrooms. Edutopia. I love this. They're very practical, approachable, accessible, with videos, images, and articles. Purdue Libraries research guides. These research guides have a huge range of articles, resources for educators on the use of AI. Microsoft Learn. It offers AI for education section. There are some short courses, some toolkits available. And the Google's official blog, The Keyword, it provides a lot of information about new trends that are coming up, new initiatives that are coming up for AI literacy. I hope I finished in time, and thank you. And if we have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Amazing session. Thank you so much. Truly, truly informative. I loved it. And I hope everybody else enjoyed it. We are a little bit over time, but that's only from a place of love when it comes to us. We love to, explain as much as we can, provide as much details as we can so everybody can get, the full-on picture. But if you don't mind, I would love to open the floor for maybe 10 minutes. If anybody
Sure,
has any comments or questions, we can go
sure,
through it. Great, great,
sure.
wonderful. Right. So I would say just to avoid anybody speaking over each other, if you could just raise your hands and I'll unmute you right away and you can either chat or ask. All right, wonderful.
Hi there.
So, yeah, hi.
Thanks so much, Mr. Fayyaz. Always a pleasure. So many thoughts and emotions while listening to you. I think you have touched upon our roles as educators. Who should we be in our classrooms? Who are our learners? What are their academic needs? You also reminded us that our classrooms, our instructional strategies, assessment practices are not designed with AI in mind. So I think what we're trying to do is put a band-aid to a wound that will continue to bleed until we restructure and refigure and reconceptualize what is the purpose of doing education, right? I agree with you that learning should be slow and messy. Like learning a language is slow, very slow and reflective process. AI makes that easy and fast, which means that probably we're not doing it right. Um, I was just wondering about your approach to talking to your students about AI literacy. Do you have that conversations? Do you create that meta-awareness about why should we use the tools? As what part of the assessment are those tools effective, and what is their reaction? Thanks.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. When I was talking about the incident, when I asked my students to submit their essays to an AI tool and ask it to evaluate for them, after that we had a long discussion, and we talked about like I asked my students why. Why do you think that AI is assessing or evaluating your essays in this way? And they said that the AI is not does not understand our we are Arabic speakers, and the AI is not aware of our maybe problems or issues in language or our school background or what we have done before coming to university. So AI is lacking in its understanding. And when they said that, it was a kind of I was smiling all that time, and then I told them that that that's why working within the context is important. Working with one's own original ideas is important, and like when we go outside of the context, our most of our answers and most of our work become irrelevant. So, and they understood this this part of the discussion, and not this term but the last term, because they were the same students with me last term. So last term I started my session with an open discussion, and I asked my students to I assigned them different topics, that okay, AI in education, AI in sports, AI in law, and so on. So, and I asked them to just search online about these different aspects of AI which is being used for doctors, for lawyers, for teachers and students. And I asked them to write them down, put them on the wall, and then I asked them to, okay, walk around the class, go through these points, read them, and then we will talk about them. And after that, the discussion that we had, it was quite like open one. Students expressed their preferences, their reasons for using AI. And one of like there were a couple of students who were repeating that course, and I asked them why you were repeating this. Is because of AI, because the teacher thought that the work I produced last term was not original. So I'm here and I will try, I'm here again, and I will try my best to write and debate with my original ideas. So I think now, as we are moving ahead at the end of 2025, I think students understand this need. But at the same time, students also come up with this argument that in the workplace, they're going to use that. And they said clearly that at my workplace, I'm going to I'm going to write my emails, I'm going to do my reporting and this and that, and I will do my projects with the help of AI. But then I tried to get them into that discussion that what if you could improve upon that email written by AI, if you could improve upon and add your own perspective, your own data, your own observations, your own examples in the project that AI creates for you. So why not taking it to the other way around? Instead of assigning everything to AI, what you get from AI, you keep your upper hand on that and you improve upon that, you refine it, edit it, and that would be more effective. But for that, they need basic skills. They need to understand the language. They need to understand what is editing and so and so. So when we get into this argument, then they understand. But at the same time, I truly understand that as a teacher, I have to make changes now and maybe in the coming years in my teaching practices. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Fayez.
You're
Great.
welcome.
Well, everybody, I hope once again you all enjoyed our session. I've posted our links for social media. Don't forget to follow us. We have a lot of amazing webinars to follow, just like the one we attended today. We also are constantly posting some AI tips, some AI tools for the classroom. So we would love to see you also on our social medias. And until next time, everybody, stay safe and see you then.